Hello everyone, I'm Krasi and this is my week for the 12 Ascendants. As usual, I will make an overview of the main celestial events and then we'll be looking ascendant per ascendant. From next week on, I will make such in the same way monthly reviews. It will be the month for the 12 ascendants. And then I will be describing how the month for the 12 ascendants will look like. I opted for this to make monthly analysis because I may make in addition more videos which will have different nature, educational, or will just review interesting information about stars and so on. So this week, well, I wish I could say that this week will be very easy, that we will find a solution for this virus. Well, it won't be happening this week, maybe also not the week after. The week is not very easy, but I suggest that we really don't that we don't exaggerate, that we don't fear, because most of this information on purpose is being reviewed in such way. If you just notice in what way the media review this information in a very manipulative way. So I suggest that we really do not allow fears, that we stay very connected with God, with our consciousness. I made another video on this just today, a couple of hours ago. If you like, you can look at it. I think it may be helpful in these difficult times, and they're difficult if we perceive them as difficult. So what we have in this week is Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Ketu are together in the sign of Sagittarius. This didn't turn to be a very easy conjunction. Well, Jupiter, of course, is benefic planet. I even think that if Jupiter was not there, this could have been worse. But we're having now Pluto and Mars and Jupiter there, and some time ago this particular conjunction was even emphasized by the presence of Saturn there, Saturn and Pluto. So actually we are still receiving the fruits from the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto, and that is why this is one of the reasons behind these difficult times that we have now. So yeah, this week is not very easy, but I'm sure that we still can remain positive. Also because Venus is creating harmonious trine to this, so hopefully this will be helpful to help us remain spiritual, remain positive. I know this positive thinking is a cliche, but could be applicable in these very moments. So Jupiter, Mars, Pluto are creating a trine with Venus and Uranus. Yes, this is very emotional. This is very much exaggerating the influences which we are currently experiencing on Earth. But on the other hand, is a trine. So could be that indeed Venus and Jupiter are helping, and the things are not as bad as they look like. Saturn and Venus are also having a square, and this square of Saturn is certainly not not benefic, but in a way it can. Well, Saturn is loving Venus, so it is also not that harmful. This will also pass. These difficult times will also pass. So this week is not very, very well positive, but it's certainly very spiritual, because don't forget that all this will uplift our consciousness, our collective consciousness, to degrees that we will later on appreciate. We may be happy afterwards, after all this is over. And all this because it is happening in the sign of Sagittarius, where we are having the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is associated mainly with spirituality. And also, of course, Saturn in his own sign of Capricorn is there to bring justice. How we understand justice is a different story, because justice and truth can have different perspectives. But in any case, Saturn is bringing justice from the sign of Capricorn, and Mercury is invisible, which is say in the sign of Aquarius, again, very spiritual placement and not ready to reveal the truth, what is happening behind the scene of all these events that are taking place in the world. In May, Mercury will become visible, and then another interesting events will take place, but more in the positive direction. So let's start with the sign of Aries. Aries, ascendant and Aries moon, and if you, from the sidereal point of view, or the Vedic point of view as well, Babylonian and Vedic, and if you're following the modern tropical astrology, you would recognize yourself as Taurus. So what is happening right now, you're having Venus and Uranus on the ascendant. Venus on your ascendant is good. She would give you blessing. Yes, she's detriment. Yes, she received the square of Saturn, so she's not capable of reviewing her full potentials of beauty and blessing, but still she can be helpful. She can save you from the harmful effects of planets. On the other hand, Jupiter, Mars, Ketu, Pluto are meeting on your ninth house. Yes, this is awakening. Yes, this could be helpful for your communication, studies, but mainly spiritual awakening, which actually is very good. At one point, you will understand this. And yes, Saturn can create also this week some changes at your career place, at work. So, well, I hope Venus is maintaining your positivity also during this time. Because of the aspect of Saturn, you may need to be patient and loving with your partner. This is due to the Saturn aspects. So, on the other hand, well, it's ridiculous now to talk about travel. I will not even mention this because we may not. It's not really. It's not applicable. But the week for you can be fine for some medical interventions, if not invasive. If they're invasive and surgeries, it's not appropriate. So stay safe this week. Remain very positive. Venus is saving you on the ascendant. And yes, remain positive and patient. And now let's look at ascendant Taurus or Taurus moon, or if you're looking from modern astrology perspective, you would recognize yourself as Gemini. Now for you, your ascendant ruler is on your 12th house. This can make you desire to self-isolate or to go through a bit melancholic state. On the other hand, the sun, this in a day will enter your 11th house, from where he will be creating sextile aspect to bring you good energies, to be fine for your finances. Saturn on your 9th house is good for your studies, for your awakening, for your spiritual work. Jupiter and Mars are on your 8th house, and this could be interesting and for the finances of your partner, finances which would come through partnerships. Health-wise, don't worry. Take good care of your health because of your ascendant ruler in the 8th house, but also don't be worried. The sun is in a quite good position to maintain your good health. So don't worry. I will not talk about travels and stuff. It's really not applicable for the whole earth. Some medical interventions are allowed, if not invasive. This is for ascendant Taurus. And now let's look at ascendant Gemini. For you, Venus is creating harmonious aspect to your ascendants. This is fine for your finances. It's not brilliant because Saturn is creating some limitations and is saying that you may need to be very organized. But on the other hand, indeed, Venus is saving you. Venus is actually blessing you and saving you in general this week. Also, the sun is entering your 10th house, which is very fine. He can bring some opportunities for your career, for your finances, for your plans. And because of the position of Jupiter and Mars and Pluto on your 7th house, you may need to be patient, loving, diplomatic with your partner, and also careful with people that you have agreements with. There you may need to be diplomatic also. The week is fine for some medical interventions, if not invasive. Don't worry about your health. Maintain, of course, healthy lifestyle, especially in these times. But Venus will be helping you, also the position of the sun. So don't be afraid. And now we're looking at ascendant Cancer or moon in Cancer, sidereal perspective. If you're following the modern tropical astrology, then you will be recognizing yourself as Leo. For you, now Venus on your 10th house is aspecting your ascendant. This is fine. This way she will be helping your career, your communication at work, your plans to a degree. She will be there to create, to maintain some, or to bring some friendly environment, let's say. Yes, she receives the aspects from Saturn, but still, she's on your 10th house and she's helpful. She will be also bringing you some luck. Now, career-wise, your routine environment is not very harmonious. Be a bit cautious there, be very diplomatic. The sun is entering your 9th house. This is very nice for your studies, for your spiritual work. He will be trining your ascendant. This is fine. She will give you good healthy energy. So I see this as something good. Still maintain your health, maintain healthy lifestyle. Some medical interventions are allowed, if not invasive, this week. So let's look at ascendant Leo or moon in Leo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be ascendant Virgo. Now for you, your ascendant ruler is on your 7th house and will just be entering your 8th house. There, the sun is a bit, he can lead you a bit to not to feel very, very energetic. You may need to maintain healthy lifestyle. Mercury is on your 7th house, where he can be fine to bring communication opportunities between you and your partner. So in this sense, he can be very delicate, and he will play this delicate role because he's invisible in the vicinity of formal health, spiritual star. So he can help the communication between you and your partner. Venus from your 9th house will be giving blessing. She'll be helping your work, not with her full power though, because she's detriment and she receives the aspect from Saturn, but still she'll be helpful for your communication with people abroad, studies, spiritual awareness. She can play this very nice role. Be a bit, because of Jupiter, Saturn, Mars and Pluto get on your 5th house, be attentive with children. And yes, maintain healthy lifestyle, of course, also you this week. Some medical interventions are allowed, if not invasive, this week. This was for ascendant Leo. And now we look at ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, you will recognize yourself as Libra. Now for you, your ascendant ruler is on your 6th house, which can make you very much to like to emphasize on the routine, to make you a bit, indeed, more emphasizing also on health, which is fine. Yes, maintain healthy lifestyle. This is really appropriate. This week, the sun will enter your 7th house, which is fine. The sun in the constellation of Pisces is fine because there we have the place of the vernal equinox. So the sun is strong in the constellation of Pisces, and there he is good. He will bring some good energies to your relationship, to your to the relationships with people that you have agreements with. There he can play a very good role for you. On the other hand, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto are meeting on your fourth house. This is not very harmonious for your home, also not for your career place. There you may need to be cautious, diplomatic. Health-wise, yes, maintain healthy lifestyle, but don't be afraid at all. The sun will be playing some positive role and bring you healthy energies from your seventh house because he's making a position to your ascendant. The week is fine for some medical interventions, if not invasive. And keep in mind that your ascendant ruler, when in the sixth house, when you're overly emphasizing on health, do it for good, but not with fears and not to be worried. Okay, and now let's see ascendant Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, you will recognize yourself as Scorpio. So for you, Venus, your ascendant ruler, is just against your ascendant. She's detriment on your seventh house. Actually, this is not so bad because even from there, Venus will be aspecting your ascendant. She may play now a positive role for your relationship, for bringing some very good environment, friendlier environment into your relationship if needed. On the other hand, you may need to be a bit cautious as the environment at your career place and at home may be lacking some harmony. So there you may need to be diplomatic and intuitive. The week is in terms of health. I'm sure that the fact that the sun is entering your sixth house where Pisces are is fine, and this will be helping in terms of health. And the week is fine for some medical procedures, but if they're not invasive. The placement of Mars, Jupiter, Pluto on your third house can be actually positive when it comes to communication with people abroad, for your awakening, for studies. Actually, in this sense, even though this is a complex conjunction, if you concentrate on spirituality, on studies, this can be very resultful. So maintain healthy lifestyle, and the sun will be your supportive luminary in terms of health, so don't worry. And now let's look at ascendant. Scorpio or moon is in Scorpio, or if you're looking from modern astrological point of view, then you will recognize yourself as ascendant Sagittarius. Now your ascendant ruler Mars, Jupiter, Pluto is on your, they're all together on your second house. This is a bit complex and not necessarily positive for your finances, can bring a lot of things to happen related to your finances, to your career place, also family-wise, can make these areas very, very busy, full of events. So in this sense, don't be very impulsive, think very well and organize very well your activities. Venus on your sixth house will be helping you health-wise for sure, but still be very organized and maintain healthy lifestyle. This is a good thing to do. The sun on your fifth house will help you in terms of children, communication with them, your plans, your studies, financially as well. Financially, the week is not bad, but can be a bit changing fast, impulsive as well. The week is fine for some medical interventions, if not invasive. Now let's look at ascendant Sagittarius or Sagittarius moon, or if you're looking from tropical astrological perspective, then you recognize yourself as Capricorn. Now with you, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Ketu are on your ascendant. This is a little bit complex. This can make you impulsive. This can make you a bit worried. Now don't be, because the fears are weakening our aura, weakening our energetic field. So remain very positive and you will be on the safe side, because also Venus on your fifth house is helpful. So, but it's pretty much in your hands to remain safe, and you will be. Now, Venus indeed from the fifth house is helpful, even though she receives aspect from Mars still on your fifth house. She's very helpful in terms of financial luck, gains. This can be a very good placement of Venus, but you may need to be very organized because Saturn is aspecting. Now, in terms of career, and yes, the week also doesn't look bad, but it's more, the attention would be given more to communication, maybe even commerce or media work. The week can be fine for some medical interventions if they're not invasive, and maintain healthy lifestyle and don't be afraid. And now we're having ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Aquarius. Now for you, yes, we know quite some time Saturn, of course, is on your ascendant, where he's already busy introducing changes into your life for sure. Mercury has very specific, even spiritual, very spiritual, delicate place on your second house. And there he may not be felt heavily to influence your finances a lot, because he's in the vicinity of a spiritual star, and his role is not really very much to bring financial benefits, but at least he can help you with your relationship with your relatives, for example, and can bring some communication opportunities. Venus is fine for your career and will support your home. Maintain healthy lifestyle, and the sun on your third house in the constellation of Pisces is strong. Yes, he can maintain your media work, communication opportunities. The week is fine for some medical interventions if not invasive. Maintain healthy lifestyle and don't be afraid. Venus is indeed playing, and the sun are playing positive role in terms of health. And now let's see ascendant Aquarius. Now for you, your ascendant ruler is very powerfully placed in Capricorn, on your 12th house. This can make you a bit melancholic, lack energy maybe, can make you interested in the occultism, esoteric stuff very much. On the other hand, Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, Ketu on your 11th house can create events, financial opportunities, but in a very harsh, in a very disorganized and not harmonious way. So be very careful when it comes to decisions related to finances, and don't be impulsive. Venus on your third house is quite positive in terms of studies, spirituality, communication. The week is fine for some medical interventions, if not invasive. And yes, when your ascendant ruler is in the 12th house, just maintain healthy lifestyle to have good energies. And now we're looking at ascendant Pisces and moon in Pisces, or if you're looking from tropical astrological perspective, then you recognize yourself as Aries. Now, the sun is entering your ascendant, and this is very nice because the sun is quite strong in Pisces because of the point of the vernal equinox, where the sun is having a specific role for our era. So the sun is very fine in the constellation of Pisces, and Saturn in his own place, for this will be for quite some time, in your 11th house, where he's bringing justice, introducing new changes into the way you make your finances into your social circle. But this is valid for quite a long period of time. Mars, Jupiter, and Pluto and Ketu are on your 10th house. This can make your work environment very busy, not very harmonious. Be diplomatic there. In terms of health, the sun will be taking good care of your health. Financially, I don't think that the week is bad for you. And yes, some medical interventions are allowed, if not invasive. So this was the week for the 12 ascendants. Thank you for your attention, and see you next week, where I will be making monthly same predictions.